राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद श्री गुरु निताय गौर हरि श्री चरण प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमाद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। यम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. We are now going to read from Amala Puran Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, text number 33. The name of the canto is Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 33. Artha-āśrayatvam śabdasya draṣṭur liṅgatvam evaca tan-mātratvaṁ ca nabhaso lakṣaṇaṁ kavayo viduḥ. artha-āśrayatvam śabdasya draṣṭur liṅgatvam evaca tan-mātratvaṁ ca nabhaso lakṣaṇaṁ kavayo viduḥ. artha-āśrayatvam śabdasya draṣṭur liṅgatvam evaca tan-mātratvaṁ ca nabhaso lakṣaṇaṁ kavayo viduḥ. Please chant. Śrayatvam śabdasya draṣṭur liṅgatvam evaca. Ladies. artha-āśrayatvam śabdasya draṣṭur liṅgatvam evaca tan-mātratvaṁ ca nabhaso lakṣaṇaṁ kavayo viduḥ. Word for word meaning, artha-āśrayatvam, that which conveys the meaning of an object. Śabdasya, of sound. draṣṭuḥ, of the speaker. Liṅgatvam, that which indicates the presence. Eva, also. Cha, and. tat-mātratvam, the subtle element. Cha, and. nabhasaḥ, of ether. lakṣaṇaṁ, definition. kavayaḥ, learned persons. viduḥ, know. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Persons who are learned and who have true knowledge define sound as that which conveys the idea of an object, indicates the presence of a speaker screened from our view and constitutes the subtle form of ether. Purport. It is very clear herein that as soon as we speak of hearing, there must be a speaker. Without a speaker, there is no question of hearing. Therefore, the Vedic knowledge, which is known as Shruti, or that which is received by hearing, is also called apaurusha. Apaurusha means not spoken by any person materially created. It is stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Hirda. The sound of Brahman or Veda was first impregnated into the heart of Brahma, the original learned man, Adi Kavayo. How did he become learned? Whenever there is learning, there must be a speaker and the process of hearing. But Brahma was the first created being. Who spoke to him? Since no one was there, who was the spiritual master to give knowledge? He was the only living creature. Therefore, the Vedic knowledge was imparted within the heart by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated within everyone as Paramatma. Vedic knowledge is understood to be spoken by the Supreme Lord, and therefore it is free from the defects of material understanding. Material understanding is defective. If we hear something from a conditioned soul, it is full of defects. All material and mundane information is tainted by illusion, error, cheating, and imperfection of the senses. Because Vedic knowledge was imparted by the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental to material creation, it is perfect. If we receive that Vedic knowledge from Brahma to Brahma in disciplic succession, then we receive perfect knowledge. Every word we hear has a meaning behind it. As soon as we hear the word water, there is a substance, water, behind the word. Similarly, as soon as we hear the word God, there is a meaning to it. If we receive the meaning and explanation of God from God Himself, then it is perfect. But if we speculate about the meaning of God, it is imperfect. Bhagavad Gita, which is the science of God, is spoken by the personality of Godhead Himself. This is perfect knowledge. Mental speculators or so-called philosophers who are researching what is actually God will never understand the nature of God. The science of God has to be understood in disciplic succession from Brahma, who was first instructed about knowledge of God by God Himself. We can understand the knowledge of God by hearing Bhagavad Gita from a person authorized in the disciplic succession. When we speak of seeing, there must be form. By our sense perception, the beginning experience is the sky. Sky is the beginning of form, and from the sky, other forms emanate. The objects of knowledge and sense perception begin, therefore, from the sky. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Nama Nama Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you everyone. This section of the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, is very difficult to understand. Very technical and very scientific also. And our regular understanding will be challenged. Regular understanding means the modern scientists' scientific knowledge will be challenged. Modern scientific knowledge is ever changing, isn't it? But the Vedic knowledge is eternal, unchangeable, perfect. So whatever Kapil Muni is speaking to his mother is perfect. And in this chapter, he is speaking about fundamental principles of material nature, about the creation, how everything unfolded to this gross material creation, from subtle to gross. This is the process of creation, and in the dissolution from gross to subtle. So, one thing is clear, that the message or the instructions or the science of absolute truth as given in Srimad Bhagavatam can be understood through the medium of mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let me quote a little bit from the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very interesting. I love to read by myself about this point. The perfect personality is addressed in the Srimad Bhagavatam as Vasudev, or one who lives everywhere in full consciousness and in full possession of his complete energy. All of this is clearly explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Very concise, isn't it? Very nice. Absolute knowledge of the absolute truth. Now, how to realize it? Who is present everywhere with full consciousness, full possessions of all his energy. Only he exists with his all varieties of energies. Now, Prabhupada is continuing in the introduction part of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the modern age, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the Srimad Bhagavatam by practical demonstration. It is easier to penetrate. It is easier to penetrate into the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam through the medium of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy. He is the absolute personality of Godhead. He is both Bhagavan and Bhagavatam in person and in sound. The sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is the Bhagavatam, and he is the Bhagavan. So we must take shelter of who? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was so eager to give us the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he wanted the Srimad Bhagavatam should be spread all over the planet, and everybody must take advantage of Srimad Bhagavatam, understand the complete personality of Godhead, supreme absolute truth, and be eligible for going back home, back to Godhead. Of course, when we take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we developed Krishna Prema, extra bonus, or it is the Prayojan Tattva. All is available by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So wonderful. Therefore, his process of approaching the Srimad Bhagavatam is practical for all people of the world. So this is our first thing, to take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy to enter into Srimad Bhagavatam, to penetrate this subtle science, very fine science of Srimad Bhagavatam. In this section, we've been hearing about the manifestation, what we already heard, manifestation of the sound element, the characteristics of ethereal element, and the characteristics of form. As we know, in this vast spiritual sky, in some part is covered by what? Material cloud, which is technically known as pradhan. We are within this area. But nonetheless, we are in the spiritual sky. How wonderful it is. In the spiritual sky, one part, one corner is covered by material cloud, that is pradhan. From pradhan comes mahatattva, then all the elements is unfolding to this gross. And pradhan is neither completely material nor spiritual, in between, very subtle. In the spiritual sky, matter cannot enter, but it is pradhan, inconceivable. So from pradhan to mahatattva, from all the elements, pancha mahabhuta, everything is unfolded from subtle to gross. So gradually in the process, sound element appear, and then ethereal element. This current verse that we are trying to discuss is very difficult and subtle. Purity of the heart, purity of the consciousness is required to grasp or to realize and see the connection of everything with the Supreme Lord. This connection is the main point. Why we're reading about creation in the Srimad Bhagavatam? It is one of the characteristics of Puranas. Puranas, they discuss about creation. It is required, although it is very difficult part, because we understand our relationship with the Creator, relationship all the energies with the source, absolute truth. So what will be the profit? We'll be aware naturally about the connection of all the energies, elements, creation itself, whatever is there within the creation, ourselves with the Supreme Lord. What Supreme Lord already said, aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I'm the source of everything. All spiritual and material, all everything together. All varieties of energies. And everything is coming from me. By knowing this truth, The intelligent person, they worship me with all their hearts. Buddha bhava, bhava bhakti begins. Bhava samanvita, with bhava, with all their hearts, attention. So this transformation is required to happen. It is possible through this Srimad Bhagavatam. Main point is develop a relationship, means establish ourselves in the relationship and achieve Krishna prema. Be eligible going back home, back to garden. So it happens if we follow properly. So Srila Prabhupada in this section gave us nice extensive purport. So in the previous verse we understood how everything, a sound contains everything, right? Shabda Brahma. From the sound we became, what is that point? Let me see. It is stated in the Vedanta Sutra that sound is the origin of all objects of material possession, and that by sound one can also dissolve the material existence. How wonderful. You hear constantly material sound, vibration, you will be entangled more and more tightly. Again, another sound vibration if you hear, that entangle will be dissolved. What is that sound vibration? In this age, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Who brought this Harinam? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why in the beginning we understood, through the mercy, medium of mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can penetrate the meaning or explanations of Srimad Bhagavatam and take full advantage of it. So I'm quoting just previous verse because this verse is connected. Little bit means from purport. So Srila Prabhupada says, Anabriti Shabdat means liberation of sound, liberation by sound. The entire material manifestation began from sound, and sound can also end material entanglement if it has a particular potency. Of course, the transcendental sound vibration. Transcendental sound vibration takes us to the transcendental world. There is simple mathematics. Unless we give ourselves to the sound vibration, we cannot achieve it. We have to give wholly, fully ourselves to the sound vibration, into the chanting, remembering. And it's very pleasurable also. Very pleasing, simple process, anytime, anywhere, under any circumstances we can continue. Now this present verse, Srila Prabhupada is translating the verse that persons who are learned and who have true knowledge define sound as which, at that which every, Persons who are learned and who have true knowledge define sound as that which conveys the idea of an object, indicates the presence of the speaker screened from our view, and constitutes the subtle form of ether. So connection between sound and ether. From sound comes ether element. Sound contains everything, and we know, we hear, right, from Bible maybe, God says, let there be creation, and creation happened. The sound contains all the potency in everything. Sound is also a person. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also a person. How? inconceivable. As we are hearing, if we accept, we get the full understanding. Absolute truth is verifiable truth, but in the beginning we have to accept and practice. That the truth is revealed within the heart. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. And Divya Gyan, what he does? Prema Bhakti Jaha Hoite Abhitabi Nasho Jate Bede Gai Jaharo Churito. Sound vibration. The meaning, the realization is revealed in the heart. And it happened in the very ancient time when Brahma was born. And he was only one person. No one was around. But we all know Brahma. From Brahma we got the Vedas. But Brahma, where from he got the knowledge? That's the point Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. That who imparted this Vedic knowledge to Brahma? Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Because Brahma was the son, is the son of Krishna. We are also sons of Krishna. Pita hamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. So how can we achieve the same knowledge in our hearts? How can we realize the same knowledge in our hearts? Prabhupada says, if we receive the knowledge through the disciplic succession from Brahma, because it is flowing down. The knowledge, along with the knowledge, the mercy, the potency to give the empowerment, means potency means empowerment, to realize the knowledge. Realization of knowledge is important. It shouldn't be knowledge is here, I am there. There is a gap, no connection. It shouldn't be like that. We live in Srimad Bhagavatam. We must live in Bhagavad Gita. We should live in the holy name. Hare Krishna. Total transformation will happen. The more we give ourselves in the process, we become transformed, means spiritualized. Transformation means spiritualization. Originally everything is spiritual. Brahman, understanding. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdyate. Brahman is unity in diversity. Krishna is the unity. He is present in all energies, everywhere. Unity in diversity. Oneness is there, that is Brahman realization. So, Brahma got this Shabda Brahma, or Vedic knowledge, by the mercy of Krishna in his heart, because he was completely ready and he was completely, perfect recipient. We should be also very much in the mood of a receptive mood, receiving mood. Receiving mood. If we have that mood to absorb the knowledge, if I have that mood, we can do it. Means, after all, our focus is Krishna. Means, when the mind is focused on Krishna, then actually our mind is focused in the transcendence. Transcendence. Mind is absorbed in Krishna, then mind is absorbed in transcendence. How wonderful. Mind is absorbed in holy name. Merge into, consciousness is merged into transcendence. So in that platform, everything is accessible. This is a simple process. We have to give ourselves fully into that absorption. The consciousness is the linking process, connecting our consciousness into with the supreme consciousness. When individual consciousness is fully in union with the Supreme Consciousness, that is the transcendental platform. And that transcendental platform, all the truth is revealed within the heart. So this is simple mathematics. If we are not connected, then it is very, very difficult, because it's not just mundane knowledge. It's a descending knowledge from Absolute Truth, Krishna himself, along with his potency, mercy potency. It is coming down, and we have to take full advantage of that. So this is the process. The Prabhupada is speaking that in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Rida, let me read that line, is beautiful line. Apurusha, the knowledge is not man-made, that we can change. Is given by the Lord. It is stated in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Rida, the sound of Brahman or Veda was first impregnated into the heart of Brahma. It is impregnated, takes birth, beautiful. The original learned man, Adi Kavayo. So we understood from Prabhupada's explanation in Srimad Bhagavatam, and we understood if we connect ourselves thoroughly with the disciplic succession, with full faith and conviction, then we'll receive the same advantage. So now, this is the first paragraph. Now, second paragraph, now Prabhupada is writing, every word we hear has a meaning behind it. As soon as we hear the word water, there is a substance, water, behind the word. Yes, the word has a weight. Word has a power to convey the knowledge from person to person through the words. Here one thing is also important. Bhagavata parogiya bhagavata sthane. We must hear from a person who is thoroughly embodying the Bhagavat. Means his mind is absorbed in transcendence, not a mind absorbed in the material energies. If we hear from him, that acts very quickly, very potent medicine. But here one thing is, are we also eligible to sit here? Am I eligible to sit here to speak on Bhagavatam? Certainly not. But the knowledge is perfect. Discipline succession is perfect. And this is our tradition that we must study and discuss and try to realize. That's why I'm here. This is my service. But if you ask, are you qualified? No. Then what you are doing? I'm trying. Once Prabhupada was asked about that, are you perfect? Prabhupada said, no. But our knowledge is perfect. Therefore, we are perfect. Wow. Only Prabhupada can say that. Means he was totally this person not in this world, from Vaikuntha world. His mind was not there. Consciousness was dwelling there. We dwell here, also our consciousness is dwelling here. This is the problem. But Prabhupada was transcendental personality. Transcendental means consciousness is above, beyond the material nature, in the transcendence, absorbed completely. Now we may say, how can I work then? How can I act? Well, spiritual consciousness is so powerful. The material consciousness can be dovetailed within the spiritual consciousness. Material consciousness must be dovetailed to the spiritual consciousness. Then it is possible. Everything must be spiritualized. Originally, everything is spiritual, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Why it looks like material? Because of our material conditioned mind. That's the Prabhupada also mentioning. If we hear Srimad Bhagavatam from a conditioned soul whose heart is contaminated, it will be difficult. And that's true. We must be very a transparent medium, via medium. We must be very honest, truthful, and pure-hearted. And that's the real sadhana. Sadhana is not outside external activities, although it helps. Sadhana is internal. And within the sadhana, central point is our identity, awakening of our identity. This is the center of our sadhana, awakening our eternal, transcendental identity, coming to the constitutional position and stay there. Be established in constitutional position in your spiritual identity. So this is the real sadhana, awakening. And when we are situated in a transcendental position, everything is accessible. Krishna impregnates the knowledge through the disciplic succession in the heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu helps us. In this way, we can achieve perfect knowledge and can be a perfect person also. So when we interpret the scriptures, we spoil the scriptures. Srila Prabhupada is speaking, and we know all about this. Like Bhagavad Gita has been, abused, spoiled hundreds of years, still now. But Srila Prabhupada, fortunately, by the arrangement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gave us the as it is, and we are so blessed and fortunate to receive and take advantage of it. So now again, Srila Prabhupada is saying, the science of God has to be understood in disciplic succession from Brahma, who was first instructed about knowledge, by God Himself. That's the point. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is also knowledge about Krishna by God Himself. Yes, and it is most powerful. As Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is also Krishna. Gita is Krishna. Now he is speaking the sound from a sound and constitutes the subtle form of ether. Very interesting. Ether or space or sky. It is not shunya. It has everything. The modern scientists, they say everything came from what? From nothing. Shunya. But ether, the space, has everything. From ether or sky comes what? From ether, air. From air, fire. From fire, water. From water, earth. From subtle to gross. So we look up the sky in the night, we see so many luminaries, so many planets, so many stars. So definitely space is not just zero, nothing. It contains everything. And it's also inconceivable how from ether air comes, touch, sound. Ether means sound also. Ether has everything, and ether is everywhere. In between us, what is there? Sky or ether or space. Amazing. Also it comes from ether comes air, this touch, sense of touch. Then from that form, fire. See, air extinguishes the fire, but from air, fire came. And from fire, water came, but water extinguishes the fire. Inconceivable. And all the elements together comes into the form of earth. And during dissolution, again goes back to the subtle and goes back to Krishna. So this is the whole thing, ether, sky, beginning. So we are not going to elaborate that because Srimad Bhagavatam is already doing that, and I stick to the purport of Srila Prabhupada, and I'm also not much learned. I do not know much intricacies, scholarly explanation. A simple thing, whatever I realized, I shared with all of you. So amazing things we heard today. And Kapila Dev is speaking to his own mother. What is essence of everything? He was narrating or speaking to mother. So mother can be fully realized, enlightened, and then develop Krishna prema. So this is our goal also. And I hope this discussion helped us. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can hear me?
Yes.
I wanted to add something to what you were saying about hearing from the fully absorbed Krishna conscious person and how that has an effect on others. So we should be. Prabhupada gave an example once about how, well, the point I want to make is, well, let me just say the example, then I'll give the point. Prabhupada gave the example of a person, I don't know how he got this idea, but he talked about a person needs his air conditioner repaired, the air conditioning unit.
Could you repeat that? Oh.
But he has no expertise in this.
Ah.
So he calls a person who's expert in it.
Oh.
And that person gives him instructions on how to repair it. Now, because he's following those instructions, he is perfect. So therefore, Prabhupada was saying, as long as we take the instructions and what is said by the perfect and give it to others, it has the effect. And therefore, otherwise Krishna consciousness could not spread because we're not perfect like that. But because we repeat without changing, as you mentioned, the effect is there. So I just want to add that.
Yes, that's true. Yes. What Prabhupada said, we just repeated. Thank you so much. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much for the class. Mataji, you had mentioned that from sound, ether had come. So I just want an explanation that ether is used to transmit the sound, like in order for sound to manifest.
Yeah.
Like if you were to hear me or I were to hear you, there has to be ether in between. So how is that the ether came after sound? So is that...
Yeah. Yeah, we are accepting. I'm not a scholarly person, that's true. I'm trying to, explain what Prabhupada has written. It is said that from sound, ether came, right? That's the point. Means here, the translation is amazing. Persons who are learned and who have true knowledge define sound as that which conveys the idea of an object, indicates that presence of a speaker, screened from our view, and constitutes the subtle form of ether. So sound carries the ether. Sound carries all the elements. So from sound comes ether. And ether is helping to convey the sound vibration. Amazing. Everything is amazing. I just become so much overwhelmed by understanding inconceivability, amazing character of Sri Krishna's multifarious energies, how he manipulates his energies. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the class.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you mentioned if we hear Srimad Bhagavatam from conditioned or contaminated soul or person, it will not be clear, it will be difficult to understand. So how do we understand, like, is it the soul that's contaminated or that's conditioned, or is it the mindset or the consciousness that we carry? And how do we filter? How can we recognize this?
Very good. In conditioned state, we think, I'm the mind, I have a mind. But I'm the soul. It's not that people think, I'm the mind and I have a soul. I is different. I have a soul and I'm the mind. See, who thinks that my mind is not okay today? Who is perceiving that? Soul. The sorrow is coming into the mind. Mind was very fresh and happy. All of a sudden, something came into mind, we say. Something came into mind and my mood is off. You are perceiving your mind. In conditioned state, we think we are the mind, whatever we say, and I have a soul. So, means misunderstanding so much. Now, who is entangled? Is the soul entangled? Baddha Atma, Mukta Atma. Atma neither Baddha or Mukta. But in this present time, the mind is entangled. That's why sound vibration is required. Through that sound vibration, mind is entangled. So soul is suffering unnecessarily. That's why mind has to be educated. Mind has to be purified. With attention you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Mind is somewhere, chanting is somewhere, I am somewhere. Mind is not being purified. And your entanglement, state of entanglement still remain intact, rather increasing. Mind is bound here. Mind is entangled. Consciousness is entangled, not the soul. Because of mind and consciousness, we are suffering unnecessarily. Consciousness means false ego. Mind means false ego. False ego is in the center. So mind is the material and consciousness is the material. Everything is material. Real ego, real identity in the center, everything is spiritual. When the consciousness is pure, everything is pure. Mind is pure, intelligence is pure, your existence is pure. That's why we have to take care of our mind. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandhanam muktayo. Mind is the cause of our bondage. Mind is the cause of our liberation. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Manmana bhava, machitta satatam bhava. Take care of your mind. Your mind can be your friend as well as your worst of enemies. Mind is stubborn into the sense enjoyment. Doom, I am doomed. There's no end to of my bondage. No possibility of going back home, back to Godhead by being free. So we have to understand the power of mind. This mind also can take us back to the spiritual world. Our pure spiritual consciousness will take us back to the spiritual world, nothing else. Nothing else. That's why it is our own, this is our real sadhana. Purify the mind, purify the intelligence, purify the consciousness, purify your existence. All right? Unnecessary. One question was asked to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I have a Bengali book. I love it to read his question answers, you know. That why there are so many miseries, so many troubles in the world. Well, yes, I know. Why there is so much trouble? Means why there are so many impediments in my path of sense enjoyment? Why? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, yes, Lord has arranged all the miseries, trouble, problems in this world to make us understand that these are not necessary. These are not necessary at all. You go back home, back to Godhead. You remain untouched because the soul is untouched of the material energies. So remain that way. Although you are here, we must learn how to remain untouched of the material energy and aloof from material energy and fully immersed in spiritual energy and completely attached to Krishna. We have to learn. This is our sadhana. This is our sadhana. Soul is untouched. That's why soul can go back to the spiritual world. Aloof, not entangled, not changed, transformed, nothing. It is still as it is. So remain in that position, untouched. You be an observant. What is going on here in this world? Be an observant. Don't be entangled into the happenings. Be a witness. Stay aloof. Step back and see what is going on in your life. It is not your life. Your life is spiritual life. Identify that. But take care of everything, dovetail everything with the devotional service and go back. Who will do it? Mind, intelligence, consciousness, association, reading, absorption, realization, chanting. All those elements are important. And we have to be serious and sincere. There's no other way. Okay? Thank you. All right. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari.